There's so much misinformation about this novel coronavirus going around TV.
I don't think it's going to be an economic tragedy at all. We have contained this, I won't say airtight, but pretty close to airtight. We've done a good job in the United States.
We have not contained this.
Unless you are ill, you have no need to buy a mask.
We actually do, but it's a special kind of mask that we'll get into later. But for those who don't know me, my name is Arjuneus, and welcome to my channel where I tackle interesting, deep, and controversial topics. So there's obviously a lot of misinformation out there, so I thought I'd just cover some esoteric facts about the coronavirus that you may not know, but definitely need to know, like yesterday. At first, I actually wasn't going to do a video about this because I didn't want to add to the panic and misinformation that all these media outlets are spamming you with. Because let's face it, it's annoying. I mean, COVID-19 is killing people left and right, but compared to something like the Black Plague or smallpox, it's really not that detrimental. But then it happened. They closed down Disneyland. And that's when I realized that this is very serious. Before I get into the 5 facts that you absolutely need to know about the coronavirus, let's just define it real quick. Coronavirus is a highly contagious virus that enters your body from your mouth, nose, and even your eyes. The viron has these spikes on the surface that are shaped like coronas, hence the name. When the coronavirus enters your body, it starts hitting up your cells' receptors and is like, yo, I got coronas. Then your cells are like, well, come on in. Then the virus comes on in and is like, it's party time. It starts to replicate itself using the cell's machinery without its consent. And then it produces so much offspring that the cell enters apoptosis and dies, while the newly translated viruses go on to invade other cells and spread until it gives you a fever, dry cough, and shortens your breathing. So let's get straight into the 5 facts about the coronavirus and then what it all means for us at the end of the day. Fact number 1, the coronavirus has actually happened many times in the past. There are currently 6 strains of the coronavirus, including SARS and MERS, which occurred almost a decade ago. This new strain, COVID-19, is only seen as dangerous because it's so hard to contain, since the virus remains dormant for 3 weeks after it infects you. So by the time you display the symptoms and realize that you need to be quarantined, you may have already infected a bunch of other people. Fact number 2, only a special kind of face mask will actually help you. If you're thinking about wearing face masks as an extra layer of protection, you need to first and foremost like this video. And secondly, make sure you are purchasing N95 face mask or higher. Not the standard surgical ones, because those surgical ones are not strong enough to prevent the passage of viral particles. This is perhaps causing the most confusion, even among the doctors who you would think that know what they're talking about say stuff like this.
The last thing I want to see is one more picture of Gwyneth Paltrow wearing a fancy $200 face mask, claiming that that's how she stays safe because she was in the movie Contagion and she knows what's up. No, that's goop.
But then say,
let's talk about the facts and let trusted sources like the CDC and WHO guide us properly as we move forward throughout this pandemic.
Except the CDC literally says that they filter out at least 95% of very small particles. N95 masks are capable of filtering out all types of particles, including bacteria and viruses. These masks have activated carbon that actively absorbs viral particles, so it will definitely help protect your nose and mouth, as long as you continue to wash your hands and avoid reaching under, and make sure that it is sealed along your face.
Stay here. I'm in charge.
Do you feel in charge?
No. Fact number 3, the coronavirus does not have a vaccine yet, but it can actually heal itself. Data from Johns Hopkins University shows that out of the 127,000 cases worldwide, 68,000 people have recovered from the virus and 4,700 people have died. To put that into perspective, 54% have recovered, 4% have died, and they're usually older people with weaker immune systems, and the other 42% currently have it. So it is bad, but not zombie apocalypse bad that you need to hoard toilet paper. The news media always wants to keep you locked in fear, so you keep consuming their content and making them money. And that's why you never hear them say, "This is Channel 5 News, oh look at Johnny had a nice day at the beach today, haha." No. You know what they're gonna say? Marilyn went to the beach, and what happened? She got skin cancer, hit by a tsunami, drowned on the ocean floor, and ripped apart by sharks. Back to you, Arjuneus. Fact number 4. Diseases like the coronavirus will likely continue to happen unless we stop eating animals. Studies actually show that COVID-19 likely came from bats and not from human-to-human transmission. Even though it is being spread from human to humans, we ought to eliminate the true source. In fact, 75% of infectious diseases are zoonotic, meaning that they come from the animals we eat. Coronavirus is rumored to come from bats, Ebola from bushmeat, anthrax from cattle, bird flu from chicken obviously, leprosy from eating rabbits, swine flu from pigs, avian influenza from ducks, and of course tapeworms from all sorts of meat. All it takes is one person to eat one bad uncooked meat and it will spread like wildfire from human to human. I see a lot of people freaking out from seeing other people cough, but why aren't we freaking out from what they are eating?
Look at this right here. All the meat is gone. Everyone's buying the meat and stocking up on that. I think it's absolutely crazy that a lot of these people are stocking up on meat and dairy and they aren't even aware that this is the root cause of pandemics like these. And instead of trying to fight the disease, we're feeding it and we're just, oh, the vaccine's gonna come and save us. But this is the root cause. This is the source for 75% of these infectious diseases.
It's probably a good idea to stop eating meat for a while before we get something worse than COVID-19. Which brings me to my next point. Fact number 5. The real enemy is not COVID-19. The evolved strain of COVID-19 is foreshadowing something worse. A study shows that the evolution of antibiotic resistance bacteria will kill 10 million people every year by 2050. That's more deaths than cancer itself. Bacteria evolves just like all organisms, and it is quickly learning how to overcome its enemy, which happens to be our medicine and antibiotics. The cases for antibiotic resistance bacteria are exponentially rising, and if we don't get this under control, then these superbugs will turn the most trivial diseases like UTIs into the most dangerous and widespread diseases that will literally wipe out populations around the globe. And what's worse is that the antibiotics used during surgeries won't be able to work either, so the entire modern medicine institution will collapse. The FDA states that 80% of all antibiotics are given to livestock that we eat because it protects them from the factory farm conditions that they are raised in. So the exposure to the high amounts of bacteria and their high consumption of antibiotics is expediting the evolution of antibiotic resistant bacteria. Even if we were to come up with a stronger and more advanced antibiotic, the rate at which their resistance is evolving and improving will quickly catch up to any antibiotics that we throw at these superbugs. So what actionable steps should we actually take now? Sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. Wear only N95 masks and keep a distance from people. Remember, we don't have medicines and vaccines to prevent it yet. So the only treatment is your own immune system, which means you might want to double down on eating really healthy right now just to be safe and reduce the intake of meat and dairy products because they are the culprit for so many of the diseases throughout human history. Once we start administering vaccines to the people who are infected, we can achieve what is known as herd immunity. Just like the Spanish flu influenza pandemic, we finally constructed a vaccine and then we just went back to our ordinary lives. So now the same thing is happening. In fact, they already coded the genome for COVID-19, so I'm assuming that the vaccine should be coming out very soon, and then we will achieve herd immunity once again. As they say, history repeats itself. So let's stay strong for the remainder of the year. Don't be overruled by fear, don't eat too much meat and dairy, and don't discriminate Asian people for just coughing next to you. Discriminate everyone for coughing. And most importantly, do not forget to smash that like button if you have not already. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys today. If you would like to select a topic of your choice, consider joining my Patreon. Also, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and share this video so we can spread this important message quicker than that coronavirus. And I shall see you guys next time, my friends. Chaos out.